Alright, I'm back. I make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag. Damn it. The dorms are quiet. Mattel kept me occupied longer than I expected. Discussing my studies after class ended up in pressing me on some worksheets to give to Hanako almost as an afterthought. Absorbed in thought, I'm late in registering the shadow that appears in front of me. Looking up reveals the owner of the said shadow. Hey man, haven't seen you in a while. Oh, hi. What's with that response? My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I probably have had the same reaction. Sorry, just thinking about a lot of stuff. Thinking is a pretty poor excuse to not aiding the war effort. And how goes the war? I am preparing. Right now I need money to help with these preparations. If you want me to loan you money, just say it. No man, I'm good. You're good, you don't want my money? Hey man, don't look so surprised, it's insulting. I'm pretty big in the competitive bowling scene, but yesterday I found some guys who didn't know that. I'm fairly sure that betting would be against school rules. School rules don't matter, this is a war situation. People these days, they don't have no appreciation of what war means. So what do you need this money for, dare I ask? Non-perishable canned food. Building materials, mostly corrugated iron and wood panels. First aid kit, camping heaters, portable radio, sleeping bag, flashlight, mechanical clock. At first it strikes me as a rather random assortment of objects and materials, but after a few seconds it clicks. Isn't that a list of materials for a fallout shelter? Ah, so you've read the Protect and Survive booklet. It's good to see someone so knowledgeable about how to protect themselves. You don't seriously think it's a non-zero possibility? No, I'm pretty sure there's a zero possibility of that ever happening. He slowly, dramatically raises an eyebrow, well, as dramatically as one can raise an elbow. God. The chance is, I don't know, 0.1 to the trillionth place. It's infinitely. Besides, where can you build a fallout shelter anyway? Certainly not on campus. It's my summer holiday project while I'm at home. My dad said I can do it. Really? Yeah, he thought it'll improve my crafting skills and manual dexterity or something. Knowing Kenji, his dad probably just thought it might help him out of his hair for a while. Still, it doesn't make me wonder what his parents are like. Maybe they're totally normal and Kenji is just an apparition. Whatever. On the other hand, maybe this kind of paranoia and fearful survivalism runs in the family. Hey, want to help me build it? You look like the type to be handy with tools. If I had your help, we could make a really badass bunker instead of just a fallout shelter. I doubt that. Playing soccer before my accident gave me good footwork, but I've never really tried my hand at anything approaching real handiwork. I'm not really... I'm busy over the holidays anyway, I'm afraid. A shame. If the feminists ever get a hold of the launch codes, I fear that so few will be prepared. And your fallout shelter will protect you from a nuclear bomb explosion in the case that this does happen. Fallout shelter isn't meant to protect against a blast. That's just a blast shelter for. That's what I thought you knew better. My mistake. My home's pretty far from any major military site, so the fallout following a nuclear exchange is a bigger concern than the blast itself. What this does is keep the dust and other particulate away from me. My food supply and my sleeping area it's gonna last me at least 14 days though. 14 days is a pretty long time. It is. I need 1 liter of water a day for drinking, 2 optimally so that I can wash as well. Toiletry is easy enough, just garbage bags and a bin placed outside the shelter area. Food means canned supplies, of course. Of course, and the radius for outside communications. Right, so I can pick up on government alerts on what's going on outside. I need a mechanical clock rather than an electric one in case the electromagnetic pulse from the nuclear blast fries it too. There's all the other stuff I need as well, like extra clothing, matches, and candles. I think I still have time to gather it all, though maybe. As much as I hate to say it, it's a little impressive. He's really researched this and thought it through. Then again, I don't know if I want to live in a post-apocalyptic world with other people like Kenji having survived. It sounds like you really know what you're doing. Damn right I do. It must be hard having to constantly live in fear like this. He hardly ever socializes either, so the fact that he went bowling with others is in itself something of a surprise. This mentally reminds me of something of concern someone. Thankfully, her fear of others doesn't manifest in such a distinctly erratic way. One thing I know for sure is that I certainly can't tell him why I haven't been hanging around him much recently. It's late, I have stuff to do. I'll think about making a fallout shelter or something, though. Yeah, alright, that's cool. A man has to do what he's gotta do, after all. You should hang out with me sometime. By the way, you're a cool dude. Cool dudes should hang out together, right? For some reason, that compliment feels kinda nice, though. The situation with Hanako being what it is, though, means that I probably won't be able to fulfill his request, for now at least. That'd be good. I'll talk to you later about it when I can. Cool, later, dude. He retreats to his dormitory room. I had better go see Hanako. I stand outside the door of Hanako's room, hoping that she isn't in too much of a state, as I nervously clutch the worksheets Mattel asked me to pass to her. It's one more reason to visit her, and it gives me something to talk about, so I suppose I should be thankful to him for giving me the task. With a long breath to steady, I rap my knuckles on the door in front of her. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but I can't hear anything. I knock on the door again, slightly louder. Still no answer. How strange. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting her answer as I knock the door one final time. Hanako, it's me. Mattel said to give you some stuff. For a while, the attempt seems just as unsuccessful as just before I slip the sheets under the door, though I hear a handle rattling. As the door opens halfway, I quickly try to see how Hanako is faring. It's a task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown hiding so much of her body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately, so to be honest, I'd have preferred that her expression right now. She looks terribly tired and appears to be barely acknowledging my presence. Hi, Hanako. Mattel wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets when she tentatively takes in her hands. The way she moves is devoid of thought. Her posture is slumped in an unusual manner for someone that's so often tense and wound up. Even her eyes keep looking away from mine, doing the best to avoid eye contact. I move my head a little to try and get a better look, but she ends up turning away. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could go get a nurse. That was probably a bad idea. Feels almost pitiful to put on such a routine, go well soon act, so I think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little more at the notion, but only a little. Her head remains turned away, but her eyes move towards mine. I'm fine. An awkward silence follows. As it lingers, I notice that the sleeves and cuffs of her gown bear slightly damp stains. Her cheeks a bit red, too. Has she been crying? I see. I hesitate a little before coming out with the words I really came here to say. Would you like me to stay? I don't have anything urgent to do at the moment, so it wouldn't be any trouble. Her eyes slide away from mine, and I lose any hope of an improvement of her mood. I wait for a response, but she doesn't say anything, nor give any kind of gesture. She stands there, looking away from me. Hanako. She slowly shakes her head. Okay, good night then. With that, Hanako steps back and closes her door without a second word. More than a little worried, I retreat back to my room. Wandering up the hallway, I keep mulling. I think the screen is actually moving very slowly. I keep mulling over what happened. I felt like Hanako was only half there, as if I was interacting with a robot that had just doing what it was programmed to do without any real thought. She was a husk of a person. This is frustrating, and I I'd hoped that meeting Hanako would help the situation, but I feel like it's only made it harder to understand her, how I am supposed to try and help her when she's quite literally shut me out like that. I don't even bother to turn on the light, opting instead to simply change into my pajamas, quickly choke down my evening pills and collapse into bed. Alright, I think I'll stop here for the moment. Well, for today. And then, like I said at the beginning of the first video, at least I think it was this video, set of videos, I'm going to try and record as much as I can on Monday, so I can try and get through with most of the Hanako's storyline done. So yeah, look forward to some nice amount of episodes next week. Alright, I guess I shall save it, for starters. And I will see you guys next week, I guess. But you guys won't know this because I'll be uploading videos over the weekend. See you guys later. Well, talk to you guys. It's not like I really see anyone. Just talk to nothing and have people listen to the nothing. Oh well, whatever. See people later. Talk people later. You get the idea.